Hello, everyone. What is going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome back to the TNT Podcast, episode 135. It's known for sure.
It is known.
And as you can tell from the first person to chime in other than me, we have the full crew this week.
Yes, I've returned from the Shadow Realm.
Would you like to introduce yourself, you who have returned from your deadly journey?
Oh, sure. Hi, I'm Friedman, also known as Andrew, also known as F-Man, also known as Triple F, apparently, as of last week, but mostly known as Friedman.
Oh, man. And
Yeah.
the returning cast from 2 weeks ago, because it wasn't last week, it was 2 weeks ago.
Just Tyler, or also known as BT Expert Tyler.
Taking some of that constructive criticism from that has been gathered, I guess, Tyler.
Big T Expert Tyler. That's nice. That rolls off the tongue.
And
Good,
last
right?
but not least,
Hi, I'm AIDS. Literal AIDS.
wow, that's the
Oh,
embodiment. Wow.
oh my goodness.
I
Incredible.
embrace my nicknames.
I mean, we just got to get right into it because it's only been
We gotta start strong.
it's only been a decade since people started talking about wanting a Knights of the Old Republic remake. And 2 Thursdays ago, we were all at Friedman's apartment, like 48 hours after we recorded the podcast, and I'm like, oh my god, the teaser's out. Can we just watch the teaser? And it's literally just Revan going, hey guys, look at me, and that's it.
Good enough. If they're willing to produce like media advertising it, it means it might be actually within the realm of releasing. So I'll take it.
PS5 console exclusive on launch, which hopefully means PC. Maybe I'll finally have to get an Epic Store account because PlayStation seems to like Epic Store.
So, while I'm definitely on the Steam side of things, I do have an Epic Store account, and they just give out free games. I highly recommend opening it just for the free games.
I already don't play the games I own. I don't need more free games to not play. I
Gotta
already
catch
have
them all.
Game
They
Pass
taught
and
us this
Steam.
at like age 5.
I still boot up like Radical Red or League whenever I'm playing something, and those both don't cost me any money. But yeah, I mean, we don't know anything about this yet. In very disgusting sub news, apparently there's already a lot of hate on Twitter. Big surprise, it's fucking Twitter. Going towards the writer of this game, who has said that they didn't really like the original, so people immediately take that as this remake is going to be a piece of shit, not what they want. That's messed up. Hate that. I mean, if it's gonna be bad, then we'll see what happens. But it seems hard to screw this up so bad that no one likes this. But hey,
Well, hold
things
on.
happen.
When you say writing, do you mean just like the actual dialogue characters say, or the
They are
actual
taking
structure of
this-
the story?
I don't know, but I know that they are implying that this is not a full reimagining, but it is not a one-to-one remake.
It's an enhanced remake.
It's a Final Fantasy VII remake.
oh, it's just straight up
It-
full on. Okay.
It depends on how they do it.
Look,
Because like a lot of the spirit of KOTOR, right? It comes from like how you play the game.
mhm.
So like, and this is something that Final Fantasy VII did very well. They captured the spirit of the original gameplay, even though it was like an action RPG.
Yeah, completely different genre, but it still felt like.
But like having
you
just
could
that
feel the
one
history.
mechanic, having that ATB gauge mechanic, like was just enough to tie it back to the original in a meaningful way. So if they don't have something like that, I feel like this is just gonna be like a weird kind of. It's just not gonna do it. I don't know.
I mean-
I am very skeptical of this.
Look, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't as well, but at the flip side of the coin is I'm just excited to see what happens with it in today's day and age, because this is one of the truest tests of can they make a new game like KOTOR? Is there anyone still out there who has it in them to even try to even do something like this. And I'm just interested to see what happens, because you know what? As much as I would love to just run a KOTOR that I don't have to mod to hell to get to get running reasonably on modern PCs, with a good widescreen and all that shit, I'm interested to see what happens, because I know that there was a lot of polarization over the Final Fantasy VII remake, but at the end of the day, I know you guys all seem to like the remake. But it also didn't invalidate the original, did it?
Not at all. It was different enough
It's
that
kind of up in the air.
it's different enough that if someone says I want to experience Final Fantasy VII, like I can wholeheartedly say like, well, which style would you prefer? Like you could play either of these. One is very classic and it has the pure nostalgia, and the new one is like it's the same, but it's just a very different form factor, is how I'd put it. But
honestly, if somebody asked me which Final Fantasy to play, I would probably tell them to play the remake.
Oh yeah?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like this is going to be a big gateway game to the other Final Fantasies.
Do you agree? You sounded uncertain.
Yeah, only because the whole thing isn't finished yet.
Very valid.
So I was going to bring this up too. The fact that we're like more than 2 years out from part 1, it's like part 2 is going to come out, and you have no idea how many parts there are after that. Like, how long have we locked ourselves into the Final Fantasy VII remake saga?
Like, I'd go back and play 7. I know it's like pretty dated, so like this is just me. Like, I don't know. I feel like I can't give like a fair thing to it until it's all done, I guess.
So, Aiden, you're the only other one here who played KOTOR, right?
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
no. Freeman and Tyler both haven't played it yet.
Played it yet.
Oh, okay.
Here's a question, just because I know that this is obviously this on a grander scale change from Final Fantasy, but in the last few years, basically every RPG has a spoken main character. KOTOR, very noticeably, does not have spoken dialogue from Revan, or from, well, not from Revan, but
from your player character.
From the player character. Do you think they should and would still do that?
I would see absolutely no problem with them having a voiceless protagonist. Like, there are plenty of Japanese games that have gotten away with that for literally ever, and everybody's just fine with it.
It's not just you. His mic's having an issue.
Yeah,
right
Aiden,
now.
your mic's buzzing.
Okay, please hold.
And now you sounded perfectly good when you just said that.
Fantastic. Okay. Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. No, I
don't think there would be any reason that they couldn't do it. Like,
I just think
it depends on how it's presented.
Sure. And I think, I mean, like, look, Mass Effect laid the template. Obviously it's BioWare to BioWare, but like Mass Effect had, no matter what your character looked like, it was always one of these two voices, but I don't know, it almost plays into the mystique a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like it's more of a stylistic choice than anything. I mean, or they just don't want to spend the budget on voice acting, which for a game like KOTOR could get expensive.
Here's the real thing, though, because Final Fantasy VII didn't have voice acting, right? Not even in the cutscenes.
Oh, original?
Original,
yeah. No, there's none.
No, so every voice was fresh, right? Some of the
yes, every single voice actor in 7 was like new to the franchise for this game. Like we'd heard their voices in the movie that came out in like, when the fuck was that?
Was it the same voices or no?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
They've swapped voices a couple
That's
times,
fine.
including like when they were in Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, that's not what I'm worried about, because the reason I bring it up, Aiden, you can attest that many party members have very, very, very distinct dialogue and delivery.
Correct.
I mean, look at Jennifer Hale. I mean, she literally, like, her as Bastila is iconic. I mean, hell, HK-47. Are you gonna get someone?
She can't voice her in the remake.
I'm not saying she can't, but like, I just feel like any of those party members, at least some of the more noticeable ones. Like, yeah, Zalbar, he's a Wookiee. T3, he's a robot. Everybody else, man, people know that dialogue and those characters. Like,
Yeah, it's
there's a
gonna
lot.
be weird. Yeah, I think I don't know. It's ambitious,
Yes.
right? Because like doing something like this, like it's you don't just, especially when it's kind of like a reboot remake kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
where they're updating everything and they have to change the game engine and the gameplay and all that. They're walking a very fine line, and it's one that we have seen many companies before them slip off.
Yes, and I don't envy
So-
anyone working on this team because this has to be one of the most gaming things of like, I'm so excited to be working on this dream project. Oh my god, my Twitter feed is always about how much of a terrible person I am and how much I'm fucking this up because it's some person's dream game from 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's this unfortunately it's that paradigm of like it's just you're just never gonna live up to the hype.
Mm-hmm.
Because people have I feel like people are going to have a vision in their head for what it could be, and it's not going to be that.
Way too strong expectations.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to temper myself now, but also try to be open to new ideas and new takes, because I don't think this is at all going to look the same. I think like you look at the combat and everything, like so few Western RPGs have done the turn-based thing. Obviously, like there's like, you know, Obsidian's like Baldur's Gate and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's some of them, but none of the big ones. Like you look at Witcher, you look at something like Fallen Order, like other Star Wars games. You look at like the rise of like Dark Souls and all that stuff. And obviously none of those are directly correlating, but it's hard to see them being willing to put out a game that's purely turn-based.
Hold on, are you implying that Witcher is not a turn-based game due to having the fucking card game in it?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Gwent?
Yeah, we got there. There's the Gwent.
So,
Gwent.
Sorry,
speaking
I had to make the joke.
No, speaking of card games, we can stop talking about
Oh, there it is.
we can
There's
stop
the
talking
transition.
about Star
Let's
Wars
stop talking.
and we can shortly
Silence half the group so we can just talk about the next topic.
we can quickly talk about Magic stuff, because for once there was stuff that directly affected us Commander players. Where I think the last time was like when Paradox Engine got banned, right? The rules committee of the Commander Rules Committee issued a ban and restricted update. Worldfire, an crazy sorcery that has not needed to be banned for years,
Yeah, no,
was
it's
unbanned.
stupid.
And Golos, Tireless Pilgrim, in the running for most popular commander on EDH Rec.
I think he was number one.
I think he was too, because when they changed their system, because Atraxa was one for so long. He is banned in Commander. Now, obviously, there's all this Rule Zero talk of, oh my god, people can do whatever they want, yada yada. But I personally am very in favor of this.
Yes, as someone who's I haven't purchased them, but has designed 5 separate Golos decks with completely different themes. I think this card is ridiculous, and it shouldn't be a legal commander.
So I agree. For those at home, just to
And here.
end here, I'll read off what Golos does. I want to see how much I can do from memory before I actually. So it's a legendary creature, Golem, artifact creature. It's a 3/5. It costs 5 generic mana.
Yeah.
When it enters the battlefield, you tutor any land from your library to the battlefield tapped, and for 2 and 1 of every color, you exile the top 3 cards of your library, and you may play any of them for free, no mana cost this turn.
7 mana, play 3 cards. You can play a land and 2 others. It's wild.
So it's funny timing, because last time I was at the store on Friday, about 4 weeks ago, geez, I played against a casual Gates Golos deck. And it is sad that the Gates deck loses its best commander.
Pretty much.
But
that was the one unfortunate casualty.
Golos is so strong because all you do is I have nothing to cast in my hand. Let's just see what the top 3 cards of my library look like.
Spells.
Like, this deck always has the mana to activate. It always has a low ramp curve and then some real killers. It always hits. Golos undoes all his commander attacks. He finds your best land in your deck, which is something
He's just stupid. He's stupid. I love him. I played him in Standard. He was amazing. He's stupid.
He is popular because he was the easiest. You could literally now. I get the sentiment of you could have built him as anything, and it sucks for all the people who are building low-powered decks. Here's the problem: no one is ever going to look at a Golos deck and be like, "Yeah, that was fine." Like I'm not worried about what this Golos deck is going to do. Every time I've seen a Golos deck, I'm like, "Fuck, I need to kill that guy," because if they have nothing to do, unlike everybody else, they have something to do. Because they're just going to activate that ability and cast a bunch of free busted spells. And even if they whiff, you're just like, okay, I guess we have a turn go round, and if Golos is still there, then they still do it anyway. Like, it's ridiculous how much value he was. And a lot of content creators came out and were like, no, we hate this. It's targeted as blah, 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 blah.
I still need, like, Mitch from Commander's Quarters going this whole tirade about it. I need him to shut up about this one part. They reference in their article why they're doing this. They said they've already spoken with the team that actually designs Magic cards, and that team is like, yeah, you're right. Doing shit like this is actually pretty bad. We are never going to make another card like this. So the rules committee is like, all right, well, now that they said that, we can address Golos right now because he's a bad card and there won't be any more like him. Let's just get rid of him and keep this concept of generic creature that can just make everything good. Just keep that out of Magic. And that's why they're doing it right now, because they finally got confirmation. It's not like they waited all this time on Golos. Like, they waited to see if this was an okay design from the team that makes Magic. And once they heard no, they axed him. So, like, I get it. This was the earliest they could have done this and been fair.
I just, at the end of the day, I'm glad it happened. I think Commander is a better format without Golos. It sucks for all the people who built these really cute budget decks, but at the end of the day, you ran Golos because he was busted. That's what everybody did. And so, sorry, you got to work a little harder to put a non-synergistic commander that isn't just easy good again. Like,
yeah,
I don't feel that bad. I mean, it sucks for people who are on a budget. It really does. I'm not trying to downplay that, but like, there's just nothing to be done here. The other card that was unbanned, which I think is fine.
Do we even need to talk about it? It's just a stupid card.
It's fun. It's, okay, World Fire. 6 triple red. So 6 red, red, red. Sorcery. Exile all permanents. Exile all cards from all hands and all graveyards. Each player's life total becomes 1.
What the fuck?
You're now speedrunning a new game of Magic,
yes,
is what it
this
reads.
is everyone has no hand, no field, no nothing. Who can win? And the reason this was banned is because way back in the day, or you still can, there are things like Suspend with Joyra, where you kind of set a spell aside and leave it for later. There's things that are like, oh, when this leaves the battlefield, trigger this. There's any number of things where this is basically supposed to be a 9-mana win the game sorcery. And as the rules committee correctly pointed out, there are already plenty of cards that win the game at 9 mana.
Yeah, like,
this isn't unique.
A roundabout way of doing it is not that big of an issue when you can just do it better right now.
So you know what? Why not unlock this fun, dumb card? Like, I wouldn't feel bad losing to Worldfire. Are you kidding me?
If someone actually cast it, I'd be like, congratulations, I'll shake your hand now.
I'd be like, yeah, cool. You won the game. You set everyone's life total to 1, and you killed everyone at 1 with nothing left. Like, sick, buddy. Cool
combo.
Stab him.
I'm okay. I accept your victory. Like, this is less feel bad than losing to just grindy Golos value casting 1,000,000 spells, 3 free spells every turn. This is like, yeah, you got me. That's funny. No one had a counterspell. No one had a way to ping you for 1. No one had a way to protect their life total from becoming 1, because it's life loss when it sets your life total. So if you can prevent life loss, you're fine. They have all these new angels that save you from dying. Like, I just think this is fun, and I think this should set a precedent of them unbanning more cards that don't need to be banned.
Coalition Victory will always stay on the ban list.
So will Sway the Stars, apparently, because that's basically the blue version of this, and they kept that banned. Because it refills your hand. I get it. But yeah, that's it's pretty solid. We also had the pre-release last week of Innistrad Midnight Hunt, the first of the new Innistrad sets. Freeman, have you played any Arena at all? I'm going to assume no.
I've not even opened the client. I'm
That's
just like
fine.
so uninvested from Standard. It's
That's
really
fine.
bad.
Set looks really cool. I've been watching like Star City Games' Versus series. Some like people are streaming decks and stuff like that. It looks pretty cool. It's certainly nice to see Eldraine cards gone. It's weird to not see Bone Crusher Giant every 30 seconds.
Literally every deck I played.
But it seems like cool. It seems cool. Werewolves seems crazy good. Like Tovolar, the Werewolf Commander, Freeman, he's
very good.
fucking gas. Him,
Like
Arlen.
he's what werewolves always wanted.
Yeah, he is the Werewolf Commander. We now have a Werewolf Commander for Leslie if she ever goes down that road.
Good. Now Reddit can stop whining about not having one.
Seriously, this is like one of the strongest commanders for a tribe ever printed, period. So now Werewolves is like on top. But all the werewolves suck. Too fucking bad. You can't have everything. It's fine.
Damn.
They sort of fixed them in the new set. I think it's a lot better now.
Yes, the new mechanic of day and night is really good.
Day and night.
Yes, I was thinking too.
I am very sad they did not errata the old cards. I think they should still, because it's stupid to have literally 3 different werewolf mechanics in the system now.
Yeah, I know. The problem is I feel like they're just never going to reprint those, so they're like, we don't want to deal with this. Never actually
Master of
printing
the
the
Fells
Oracle
was
deck.
just printed in a secret layer, or from the vault, like 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
That card's just so cool. I still have that, even though it's not good anywhere. I don't know. It is. They did think about it because Tovolar can force transform stuff, which is cool. But
Yeah, it
I
sort
would
of does
never.
have a little bit of interaction.
Personally, for me, I would never run a deck with the same mechanic done 2 different ways. That just seems like an absolute nightmare to track in paper.
Yeah, kind of is.
Even watching like arena videos, like tracking day and night, if the client didn't do that for people, Freeman, you know how many triggers and how many times people are going to screw up day night in paper is going to be astronomical.
So you know that giant coin you have? People are just start bringing those, have day and night coins.
Mm-hmm.
To bring along with their dungeon trackers and their fucking set of 7 dice that they need because of. There's so much extra shit you need to
Magical
play Game of
rocks
Magic
go
these
clickety
days.
clack.
It's ridiculous.
It is actually silly. But yeah, Innistrad looks really cool. It doesn't seem as crazy strong as old sets, but it has cool stuff. I know Val's very interested in vampires because vampires are coming in a few months.
Oh yeah, I forgot they split them up.
Yep, but I am sad to not see any Eldrazi. I would have liked to have seen.
Dude, there's like the third set in a row where it's just like Eldrazi. Are they here? Is it time?
Well, I just wanted like they did it on way back in Battle for Zendikar, where they had like a couple Emrakul cards where they're like Emrakul went somewhere. That's freaky.
Yeah.
Like I wish there was like, ooh, look at this one Eldrazi that still exists somewhere. It's sad.
Technically speaking, if they can allude to the moon in one of these sets, because like Emrakul is still here.
Yes. Also, flavor home run again. It like Innistrad never ceases to be an absolute banger in terms of flavor, like the old horror movie vibes. So many of these cards are just absolute flavor slam dunks.
Wait, hold on. Delver's in the set, right?
Yeah.
This is a very rare opportunity for people to play Delver in Standard. This
Yes.
is actually very interesting. I'm going to keep an eye out on the meta.
Especially because the it's more the Is It Dragons deck is so stupid good because Goldspan Dragon's like the best card in Standard still. But anyway, this is not the only trading card game to get updates. I didn't even know about this, Friedman.
I got hit with some targeted advertisements because they see I like cards related shit. So I'm getting all these ads for the Pokemon TCG is launching their own like arena equivalent, desktop and mobile. So I'm actually pretty interested. I haven't played Pokemon since like the Game Boy Color game. So to actually like really learn the game again and play online, like if it has the same kind of free to play model that Magic Arena was like trending towards and they gave up on. If they can go towards that, I might give it a shot just to like learn how to play the game. Especially if it's on mobile. But yeah, no, I thought it was pretty interesting because I know all of you guys have collected Pokemon cards at one point or another, but I don't know how many of you guys actually know how to play.
I mean, I don't have.
I never wanted to.
Yeah, I never cared
No.
enough. It was always just
I've
about
always been
collecting.
curious.
I was
Anyway.
mildly curious. I remember playing it like once, question mark, and like I remember my friends that were like, "This is fucking stupid."
Damn.
So,
All right.
I don't know.
Aiden, did you ever play Pokemon or no?
I collected the cards. I never played the game.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Sounds
Shiny
about
card.
right.
Like it just
Look
it
at the
wasn't
Charizard.
Magic. Sorry, you're not Magic Pokemon.
Hell
Damn.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Not. Actually, I told this story to Tyler. I think I told you, or I think I told everybody over the weekend. But how I, Aiden, I rode to the airport when I was in Virginia on Friday, with the guy from our customer who was visiting us, and we chatted about Magic a little bit, and he's like, if I had more free time, I would probably get into Magic. It sounds really
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, we still have to work together on a almost daily basis. I will work on this. But yeah, that was exciting. This next thing isn't even really a news story, but it's the only
It's
other
precursor.
precursor stuff. I saw on IGN they had a review up already. I obviously didn't read it, but I'm very excited to see this. Star Wars Visions launches tomorrow, 24 hours after the recording of this. Within 24 hours from the release of this podcast, StarArs Visions will be available on Disney Plus. The whole thing. I will
Wait, the whole
definitely.
thing. I thought it was
Nope.
one episode a week.
Big jump, big dump.
Big
What?
dump,
That's what
Oh,
IGN
man.
just said. Let me double check.
big steamy
The
dump.
Wikipedia article had. Yeah, it's updated. They're all on the same day now. Damn.
Damn.
That was the only thing I was going to complain
So
about.
I
'cause
know we were talking about what we're doing on Thursday, but
Let's just cancel that. We're going to watch Vision.
let's just watch all of Visions on Thursday. Is anyone
I'm
else
so
down for
excited. Yes.
this?
Yes,
I
as the DM,
am-
I've already canceled
Tyler's
the podcast.
not.
We're watching this.
Tyler's
Ah.
not. Oh man.
I mean, y'all can watch without me.
Shut up.
What?
Anyway,
Stop
I was
trying
gonna-
to ditch.
Anyway,
I'm
I was
not
going to
trying
cry
to ditch.
because I thought we had to wait a month for the Trigger episodes, but now I get to see them
See
day
'em
of.
all tomorrow.
The first one's going to be crazy cool, but it's
Freeman, you're busy
that one-
tomorrow, right?
tomorrow, yeah, unfortunately.
Foul. Maybe over the weekend we'll find time. Because I would happily save these to watch with anybody else who was hype about this. I mean, obviously,
Yeah, maybe.
Valve would be down to watch, but
I don't know. I feel meh about it. It's like I don't know. I didn't ask for this.
So
Like I just don't
I
like-
kind of did, not going to lie.
So I've been coy about feelings about Star Wars for a while now, but like a new fresh take with characters that are brand new. Like the biggest crime of the sequel trilogy is what they did to existing characters. We can all agree on that's one of the worst things that they did, right?
for sure.
So
They should have made new characters and destroyed them instead.
correct.
Yes.
That's totally
Yes.
fine, and that's why I'm almost excited for this. There is no like this is new. This is exciting. This is somewhere else in the galaxy. Like I'm
World
down for
building.
this. The biggest mistake Star Wars can ever make is not trying to use the galaxy. And I've said
Far away.
I've said contradictory things along that line before, where I've been frustrated when because it's obviously hard to keep track of something like that in the universe. Like everyone's like, oh, all the Jedi are dead from Order 66. That's an easy example. And then here's Rebels, where there's this kid and Ahsoka's still alive, and everyone knows that. And then there's Cal. Then there's the kid Cal from the fucking Fallen Order, and it's like. But at the same time, yes, it's a big galaxy, but also, come on, guys, like, we're starting to get a little silly with how many Jedi lived.
I
And-
mean, we all know how stormtroopers shoot. Let's be real.
Sure, but like,
Yeah.
the other thing
Also,
is
who
that
fucking cares? Honestly, I'm tired of Jedi shit.
I'm not
tired of-
tired.
I'm tired of space magic shit.
I'm tired.
Never thought I'd say that.
No. I'm tired of the rebellion. That's what I'm tired of.
Oh, yeah, that's also tiring.
I'm like, look, if you want to do... I mean, I'm tired of Jedi in the Rebellion. If you want to be a rebel trooper during the rebellion, fine. If you want to... I just, like... There's so much... In the old canon, there was so much history and so much stuff where it's like, yeah, it's kind of silly they're doing this, but who cares? It's like the world is wide open. They had 25,000 years of history to play with. Like the 1,000 years ago, before the Golden Age of the Republic, the last big Republic-Sith war. Could cover that. No one's covered that. The SWTOR is from 4,000 years. That's like post-Revan shit.
It's not where the big bucks are, Tim.
I just, like... And then, like, someone's going to point out, like, Battlefront 2's story was about Imperial... Battlefront 2 was not good.
Wait, Battlefront 2 had a story?
The campaign.
I don't even remember,
I don't remember that shit.
Like,
oh my god, yeah.
I'll be real.
You're some Special Forces Imperial girl.
Oh
who's
yeah,
like,
and then she does the surprise 6 months later. I'm with the
You
resistance.
really could have fucking fooled me. I did not know there was a campaign. I probably
Hell
played
yeah, there
like tens
was.
of hours into that shit.
hell yeah. I didn't play, like, any multiplayer. I only played the campaign for YouTube. That's how I remember.
I remember.
You're
it now.
wild. I only played like the multiplayer, or I played against bots.
I mean, I would have done that if I'd had anybody else to play with at the time.
Yeah, it doesn't make good solo YouTube content.
Well, also, I
It's
just...
supposed to be a joke.
No. Also, I just don't play Like, how often do I play multiplayer games
That
these
sounds like
days
it's supposed to
without
be a
you
joke,
guys?
Freeman.
What?
Solo doesn't make
Oh
solo
my
content.
Oh no! I can
That's
No,
what I
totally
thought you were
intentional.
doing. I was
Absolutely
like,
not.
this is
No, like
motherfucker,
actual like solo YouTube content.
Okay.
Oh god.
All right.
So,
I get it.
long story short, Visions is coming out tomorrow. I'm very excited.
I'm excited, but
Very
I'm kind
excited.
of also. I also feel Tyler with like the. I don't need any more space wizards. Honestly, the most disappointing thing that ever happened for me was that they canceled Star Wars 1313.
I mean, that's not... I will never dispute that that's a crime.
I want to see more of like the... Like, I'm tired of like the I'm Space Jesus Star Wars, and I want more of the... Where like... This whole planet is a city... And we fucking there's a lot of shitty things that happen there.
You know what the easiest
Like,
way to put it is?
I want
no.
I want
You-
40K
look,
Star Wars. 40K.
You know what you want? You know what everybody wants? Everybody wants Rogue One, the video game. The equivalent of Rogue One. Not the story the same, but like a Rogue One-esque story in a video game.
Yeah,
where you're not all
kind
about
of.
space wizards. It's about a team of people
It's wizards.
who are doing their thing as normal ass fucking people.
Yeah, like
The only reason I'm hype about the anime stuff, Visions, is because it's going to be fucking cool to see anime art style with space wizards, because how much are we limited? Like, we all watched The Mandalorian. Like,
Yeah.
it might have been realistic, but what does Ahsoka do in her episodes? She does like fucking nothing.
It's just there.
She's like, ooh, I jump high and I move with 2 lightsabers. Cool.
I jump
I
high,
guess.
and I used to be
Like,
Damn.
the anime shit is gonna be crazy. You know, like Freeman said,
Yeah,
Studio Trigger is gonna be insane.
Dude, my takeaway is that even if the story is absolute garbage, like I'm literally just here to watch beautiful animation.
Yes.
That's all I'm here for.
See,
Officially
I want
licensed.
substance. Damn it.
Like Disney
Tyler, I
funded
agree.
official fan material.
Tyler, I agree, but the substance has been bad. So let's take anything, okay?
No, I hate this. I can't. I don't want it. I
Salt is flowing.
scream so bad.
What?
I don't know why something triggered inside of me just now. No pun intended. Like, I don't know why. Like, I think I'm just tired. I'm just done. I think I'm just done. I'm just done. I'm done.
With Star
I
Wars.
want some. I want. Not even like I want just new shit, man. Like I just don't care.
Well, Tyler,
don't
I
care
have good
enough.
news for you. We'll get to
What?
it more later, but we're ending an anime season and going into a whole new season of it.
Yeah, right. And there's a whole new
It
season.
never ends.
Never ends. I just
Freeman, that was your-
want good
It's
new
just
stuff.
an eternal cycle of I don't have the sound pad open, but some weeb shit. Wow. Anyway,
Uh,
I need to get the soundboard working again. This is egregious.
I
Anyway.
hate it here. Podcast canceled.
No.
Podcast canceled.
Whatever. You love the weeb shit. Anyway, let's get into it. So there was some stuff on the show notes from the last episode I missed. I pull over only the relevant ones that I really wanted to talk about that you guys might find funny. And as I'm slowly turning to Giguk, I need to talk about Fate every week. So the creators of the Fate franchise, Type Moon, the company that's just like, yes, let's do a global franchise based on a game that we refuse to localize anywhere. And they decided, all right, we're going to take the game we made before Fate Stand, like the one that really put us on the map for visual novels before Fate blew up, was this one called Tsukihime. And they completely redid it. And it was like, all right, cool. It's coming to PC. We can definitely hack translate it or do something with it. But then the very last minute, they're like, yeah, there's no PC release. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, it's on PS5. And when they go to interview the director, like the guy who wrote it, the one who just comes with all the dumb bullshit and Fate, he's just like, yeah, no, I realized this game was meant to be experienced on a big TV. So we want it to be PS5 only. It's like, what the fuck? Like this is a remake of a game that was originally on PC like in the early 2000s, late 90s. Like there was no big screen. Like you played it on the same screen we're playing on now on PC. And then they had the audacity to be like, oh, it's also coming out on Switch. And it's like, fuck you. It has to be on a big screen, but it's coming out on Switch, the handheld. It's like, no PC. Even though it was developed on PC and there was a PC copy up until the director's like, nah, this shouldn't be on PC. Dumbest fucking company. I can't stand this.
I fed up with this world.
Anyway, that was the only bad news. It's all good news from here on out. So next two were season announcements for shows that none of you guys watch, but I do. The first one is Teasing Master Takagi-san, a very adorable show. Season 1 was okay. Season 2 was very good, but it was one of those shows where it's like there's no real plot to it. And it got pretty close to the end of the manga. So I was like, all right, cool, that's it. And they're like, oh, joke's on you. Season 3 and a movie confirmed.
Damn.
Out of nowhere.
Wow.
Somewhere out there, Netflix saw the metrics. They're like, yeah, this is good. Buy another season and a movie. Because it was a Netflix exclusive globally.
Dude, it seems like, okay, so I saw some comments on r/anime about stuff that seem to agree with this, but like Netflix seems like if there's anime that gets clicks, even if it's trash, we're gonna get another season guaranteed.
To watch metrics work, which with anime they always fucking work. They're like, yeah, that's good. Let's get another one in here. It's why Seven Deadly Sins has so many fucking seasons.
Even though everyone says it's not very good.
Oh, the last 2 seasons were like I haven't watched them because they're so garbage.
I hear it's ass.
Yeah, it
But
didn't
people
start off
click.
amazing and it just got worse.
But the clicks though.
Dude, the
The
algorithm,
clicks though.
the binge hours, it's real. Anyway, next thing, I'm a little far from catching up on it, but Thunderbolt Fantasy, the Taiwanese puppet show anime that's not an anime, but it has the one guy who does all the soundtracks for every anime, has all the big name voice actors. It has the guy who wrote Fate Zero wrote this. Who else did Monica Magica? Dude's insane. The point is, it's basically an anime, and it just got a 4th season confirmed. I
can't with this puppet.
Apparently, it was doing so well they wanted to just do season 4 right away, and like, not COVID. So they waited until it cooled down because they're doing like real puppetry for the show. So now they're back, and people are eating it up. So I'm happy. The show is goofy and funny as hell.
I still remember when you showed us this, and it was like the most. I can't believe this is real moment ever.
I know that's why I watch it. Like there are some episodes where there's no fighting, like wow, that episode sucked. And then you have an episode where like the whole thing is fight scenes. You're just like, holy shit, all these special effects. It's crazy. Yeah, honestly I just watch it for the fight scenes, to be perfectly honest. The story really doesn't matter. But it's a cool show. It's on Crunchyroll for anyone who's interested. Now we'll move on to this week's news. And Tim, I'll actually let you lead a couple of these.
So many movies are getting
You're an
announced.
expert on some of these franchises here.
Oh, yes. So, we'll get to it in Watched and Played, but with the season ending, as I alluded to, Val and I have finished 3 shows, 2 of which immediately got movies announced. My Next Life as a Villainous, All Routes Lead to Doom. Season 2 was yet again a banger. No Demon King, no Misfit of Demon Academy, but this is a very close second. I love this show, and they instantly announced movie coming, I think next year.
Oh, because it's Silverlink. I'm like, why are you comparing this to
Silverlink.
Demon King
Yeah,
Academy?
yeah. Just because Silverlink can't stop putting out these funny comedies that I love. Although apparently their next show is serious, so I don't even know if I'll watch it this coming season. Because I would happily watch another comedy that they adapt, but man, real shows, I don't know if I'm here for that.
Let me see if they've actually done any like serious shows.
But yeah, the Villainous movie's coming. I'm really excited. This season ended like pretty spicy with the character development. I'm really excited to see more of Miss Five Brain Cells. And see how her harem develops, because man, oh man, are we setting up for some spicy stuff in a future story. But it's just dumb fun. I just love it so much. Also, just before the podcast, Val and
Wait, hold on. Sorry, real quick. I was looking through what's Silverlink's done. Unfortunately, they're the ones who are doing the Great Jahi Will Not Be Defeated, the show that I hyped up and then fell out of love with.
I guess they might stumble on comedies occasionally, even.
But then they also did Shield Heroine, the I Don't Want to Get Hurt, so I'll max out my defense. Awful name for a show, but that was also really good. All right, it's
so it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, it's honestly it's all lighthearted shit they do.
All I know is we're getting Misfit again next year, and me and Aiden are very ready.
Yes.
For more Anos.
I just picturing the Anos fan club every time you guys talk about him.
Hell yeah. Fucking hell yeah, dude. #1 fan.
Jesus. I can't with this shit.
Notice me, senpai.
Oh my god.
Can't with this bullshit.
All right, so sorry, Tim, I interrupted you. What was the second one?
So we also finished Slime, which I'll get into later and watched, but it is also announced for getting a movie in fall of next year, which means we will go the entire 2022 without any Slime content in North America, because fuck movie releases, I guess.
Well, hold on. Crunchyroll's a big sponsor of this one, so we might actually get it, though.
That's a funny joke.
They got the Konosuba movie not that far after it came out in theaters in the U.S.
No, but Freeman, I'm talking about getting the movie from Japan fall theaters to, in the year 2022, getting it here in the States.
Oh, no, you're lucky for like 3 months.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying 2022, we're probably not going to have any Slime content, which sucks.
There's a chance. There's a slight chance we get Christmas, but it's very unlikely unless Funimation.
The funny thing, I'll save the review talk about the Slime season for later. And in one more bit of movie note, I know I talked about it months ago, but the Netflix is finally bringing the Violet Evergarden movie to Netflix on October 13th. Same day the Blu-ray releases in Japan, you said, Freeman?
Yes, that's why they're doing now that we don't have to deal with people like pirating on the internet and spreading around before we can sell the Blu-ray. It's like, let's just have it out the second the Blu-ray's out, so people who want it will still buy it.
Yep. So, I mean, I'm going to buy the Blu-ray whenever we can get it in the States, 100%, but...
Definitely. It'll be a little while, but
yeah,
come out,
for those of you who have not watched the movie, or like Tyler, finished the show since then, even though Tyler didn't... No, I don't want to say that.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say didn't like the show that much, but that's just me hyperboleing because of how much I love it.
You guys hype up Violet Evergarden like it's the next coming of Jesus.
I do that.
It's a good anime, but you guys overhype it.
Yes, I am aware that I overhype it.
No, Tim.
Yes,
I
you said
don't.
you like you were talking to both of us. No, I'm aware that I overhype Violet. I can't help that I like it a lot. Okay, but yes, the movie is coming to Netflix. I'm excited. I'll probably rewatch it. But speaking of Netflix releases,
dude, this was out of left field. I was not expecting this. So for those of you,
just for context for everybody, this news story, Freeman put a giant "let's fucking."
No. I'll get to it when I start getting
okay.
So, you know how I'm always shitting on Netflix for the way they handle anime because all they care about are binge watch statistics. So when they get a now airing show, it's like, congratulations, you're in Netflix jail. I can't watch you until you're already done and everyone in Japan is done talking about you and all the hype is gone. Fuck off. And I hate it. I hate when Netflix does this because you either have to pirate or you have to just wait and miss out on the community. At first, I was very upset when I heard that they're going to be the ones carrying Komi-san Can't Communicate. I think it's like the #2 most anticipated show on my anime list right now. Like this was a manga I read like years ago, and I was like, when is this getting an anime?
Wow.
So there's an insane amount of hype around when it was finally going to happen. So this is like the #2 show of the season behind Jobless Reincarnation, which you guys aren't watching. But point is, Netflix is like, we got it. I was very upset until I saw they said weekly releases outside of Japan, and I was shocked. This is the first anime they've done this for. And now we finally have Netflix saying like, maybe, just maybe, we don't need you to binge watch this. Maybe you could just like enjoy it when it's airing.
That's pretty beat.
So if they can start doing this going forward, like I'm hoping this teaches them a lesson. Like, hey, like half your normal viewers like just watched it when it was airing. It's definitely not going to be that high overall, but I want to see how they react to this data.
I wonder
So
if
I'm very excited. But I was beyond hyped. I put this giant, as Tim was alluding to, there's a giant image in the middle of the show. It's the fucking tennis ball screaming, "Let's fucking go!" Because I was beyond hyped when I read that earlier today.
Well, that's cool. I still hope it's good at least.
I hope so too. I don't want to overhype it, but like,
Nah, you're overhyped it
I
though.
have-
Pretty fucking
no,
hard.
but like I'm not hyping it because it's amazing. I'm hyping it just because I've been waiting for forever for this. Like it was one of those inevitables that were just like, when is it happening?
Mm-hmm.
So it was more just anticipation. I can already tell you it's not gonna be as good as the manga. I've seen the trailers. I'm like, okay, some stuff doesn't translate over to like one for one like movement and people talking. So it may not be as hype as I'm drawing it out to be, but I still think the core plot is gonna be entertaining. In that there is no plot. It's just cute. We'll see. Netflix has confidence, if that says anything. Anyway,
Okay.
that's it for the
Well,
Weeb
we'll
shit.
see. I'm willing to give it a try, I guess. I don't know. I'm not if I'm into that kind of stuff, but
Let me pre-screen and I'll let you guys know what I think.
Cool. Yeah, that's all the news we have, though. Somehow I thought it would take longer, but we do have plenty of watched and played stuff.
every time we get to this part, this shit always takes.
It takes
minutes.
literally like an hour and a
Sorry,
half.
we have entertaining interests, Tyler. My God.
I'm just saying.
I'll be right back
Speaking-
while we go over the first one.
Speaking of which, Tyler, we saw a movie at separate times, but with the same person those separate times.
Yeah, we did. We did. We saw Shang. So it's not Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
It's pronounced Shang-Chi.
And the Legend
now I
of the
don't-
Ten Rings. Subtitle
Yeah.
barely remembered by anybody.
Subtitle. No, remembered by me actually. Because so it was very important to me. Well, all right. I shouldn't preface it with that. It's not that important to me, but it made me curious, right? Because I was like, Legend of the Ten Rings. Who has the Ten Rings? I'm like, I know none of my friends know this, but I know that it's the Mandarin. The Mandarin has the Ten Rings. Well, we already fucked with the Mandarin, so what's the deal, right?
Luckily,
And
all your questions were answered in this movie.
they were they were answered like inside a half hour. And I was
Yes.
pretty grateful for it. I was
That
like,
was pretty good.
oh, that's pretty interesting.
This is how we do retcons.
Yeah, literally, they handled it the best way that they could.
Yep.
Um,
Retroactively kind of makes Iron Man 3 a little better. Not a ton, but it
I
makes
think it made it worse, actually.
Oh, well, never mind then.
In my not so humble opinion.
I'm not trying to
but
talk about Iron Man 3.
regardless.
I'm trying to talk about Shang-Chi.
We're talking about Shang-Chi.
how- It was pretty good. I really liked it.
I also thought it was pretty good. I don't think it didn't like as I know. Well, I'll let you say what you want to say, but
You mean what I'm
I don't
saying or what I'm saying for other people?
where you're saying, yeah, right. Unlike some people, that we know, other mutual people that we know.
Some people in this house, like my wife and sister-in-law, who say that this is in their top 3 Marvel movies of all time.
I think that's pretty fucking.
It's a
crazy,
little
actually.
strong for me.
Some recency bias shit here.
It's a
like,
little
I-
much.
I remember asking Val before we went to go see the movie. I was like, "Yo, don't bullshit me here, Val. Like, I know your sister, like, has a bias, and she's like, I know, but like, I really did like it, and I do want you
did.
to see it. So I'm like, okay, fine.
And look,
I'll check it out.
I will say this is probably, to me, the most interesting and high-quality thing Marvel has put out since Endgame. 100%. Nothing. I have watched everything. I watched Loki, Falcon, WandaVision and Black Widow. Almost because of obligation, because of Val and her, but especially her sister, who said it's her possibly favorite Marvel movie, period.
It's good.
So, but that's not a high bar. I feel like Endgame burned me and so many other people out so hard.
Yes.
That like this just is good enough to stand on its own.
There's a lot of things I thought was like too cheesy with the movie, but I was like, whatever.
I think it was really good, and I think overall it was really well handled. It wasn't like, I know people were worried about it being this kind of over the top, like not schlocky, but kind of cheesy, like, you know, Asian action movie, kung fu movie.
It was because it was all of those actually.
It had those elements, but I'm saying I think people thought there was going to be like shit tons of wire tricks and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And like really bad CGI. Like people picture all these old like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon movies. Not that they're bad, but they pictured that and they were like, "Ooh, Marvel's just going to make a pretty one of those." That doesn't sound interesting. And no, this honestly felt really good. I really liked a lot of the story beats here. Some of them were pretty telegraphed. But honestly, like the way the rings work, I think was really cool. I think,
which they didn't even cover all of the rings. Like,
well, I mean, they clearly allude to more at the end.
They did. I was explaining to Val at the end of it, when we were talking about it. I was like, yeah, each ring does its own thing. Like,
Ooh.
They did literally nothing with the. Like, they covered
literally
maybe
nothing.
2 or 3 things.
Yeah.
That the rings can do. Like, alone, she's like, oh, I'm like, yeah, they don't.
I will say
it's
a little lame if Shang-Chi learns how to do shit with the rings after the previous owner had them for so long. And
you know what? It actually kind of makes sense to me, honestly. If he didn't have the access to the knowledge,
I guess he didn't have a support network.
He didn't have a support network, nor he was also very one-track minded. Like,
yes,
his whole thing
fair.
was like, I want to, like, these things can fuck people up really good, and I am immortal. Like, I don't need to do anything else. And then he didn't realize that they could do more until he met Shang-Chi's mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, he's like, oh, hey, I'm going to put these away. This is not a major spoiler either. It's like...
Yeah, a lot of this movie is pretty
like,
laid out pretty early.
Yeah, but I won't go into more details about that. But like, it makes sense with this character, and I don't believe Shang-Chi would have even thought of it either.
Mm-hmm.
But now that he has the
we've
support
clearly
network,
established
like
he knows people who know way more than him.
So I don't know. I think it's gonna be cool. I don't think it doesn't get me hyped though.
That's fair.
This movie didn't get me hyped.
Like I said, I think it was really good, best thing since Endgame, but it still doesn't affect me the way all that old stuff did. I don't care about any of these characters nearly as much. But I will say, this movie, I know it's easy to say, like, oh, the budget, how many millions of CGI artists are working on this stuff, but this movie looks good. Like, the CGI of, like, near the end, Tyler... There's a few scenes with like the side animals and stuff that don't look incredible, but like some of that final action stuff looked really impressive.
Oh yeah, the sky lizard I really liked actually.
Yes.
Yes.
Soundtrack is pretty cool.
Yes,
Soundtrack is kind of like heading towards that kind of like, not hip-hoppy feel, but you know what I mean? Like the Black Panther having a little more character to the soundtrack than just generic Marvel music in the background.
Oh man, dude likes Outkast. Which I noticed at the end. This is a super small thing. At the end of so in Shang-Chi's room, you see his room, and I'm like, oh hey, I know all of these rappers. And at the end of the movie, they literally credit every single one of those posters in the background. I'm like, that's pretty interesting.
Wow, that's
but
funny.
It makes sense.
But yeah, overall, solid movie. I would recommend it to
Solid
people
movie.
even without being in Marvel stuff. It was just a good time.
And if you are a fan of old kung fu movies, this movie literally does a callback
Yeah,
to every one of them.
yeah.
At least
Oh,
every
really?
one that I've seen. Yeah.
Well, it wears its influences, and that's fine. Like I said, it's not
Yeah.
trying to be.
No, they
it's
do it
not,
in a good way. Like
Yes.
they do it in a tasteful way. I don't think they do it in a
Oh,
bad way.
that's right. I was also gonna say, alluding to that, the action in like, especially like that first two big fights, Tyler.
Oh yeah.
Those are both extremely
Top
well
notch.
done. Like some of the best
Top
action
notch.
Marvel's had in a long time. Like having
Yes.
just seen Black Widow, where it's like, oh, cool, Scarlett Johansson's doing the same, like wrap
I'll
the
say
leg around the
that-
head and do flips and stuff.
I don't think the fighting has been that good,
Yeah,
in my opinion, since Winter Soldier.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember the brutal fights in Winter Soldier, the classic Bucky knife flip move that everyone remembers. Like
Yeah.
this action was really good. It actually
It-
almost makes, like I said, I think the first two fights are better for not having powers involved. They're just really, really good stunt work. And when you get to like the big dumb action near the end, it is less exciting because it's not as tight. Is that valid, Tyler?
Oh no, I was about to say yeah, I agree with that. Actually, they did a real they did focus. I feel a lot on the choreography fights, or like some parts at the end were all right, but like you know, you could tell that a lot of work was put into the fight scenes and the choreography.
Mhm.
It's just really good. And I definitely wouldn't have said what I said because I like it. Like I would say, Soldier is probably my favorite out of all the Marvel movies. It's that one,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
is funny because like I never liked Captain America in the first place, and the movies swayed my opinion on that actually. But yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got to say about that.
No, yeah, Shang-Chi was pretty good. You know what else is pretty good? My Next Life is a Villainous.
Oh my god, this shit again.
I already
All right,
alluded to it with the
let's
movie.
talk about it.
But this show is just so funny. It was so wholesome. It had some of the most laugh out loud moments I've had like all year long. Like Freeman, I just think back on the play. I think back on especially the dream house, the Wishes house, and just solid moments like in the first, like at the end of the kidnapping. Just
The problem is like we're gonna remember for these like 3 to 5 really standout moments or standalone episodes, but like the story arcs this season were a little on the weak side.
sure. That's
So
totally
it's
fair.
holding it back for me to say that yes, this was an amazing season. Like
No, I don't
it had
think
a
it was
ton of
amazing.
really great moments, but
I mean, I still gave it
overall,
an 8 out of 10, but
I had to lower it compared to season 1. I thought this wasn't as cohesive as season 1 was, obviously, but it's still good. I still
think-
really enjoyed it.
I think the highs were so high for me that I'm aware that they are inflating the score, but I still think it would be hard to give a season with pure laugh out loud, especially like the Dream House. I just rolling on the floor laughing. It's so fucking funny with all the dumb bullshit they have in that dream. Like Freeman, I don't want to do the sound effect on camera, but I've done it before and it always gets a crack out of you. Like
The fucking the Allen's meow. Yeah, you don't have. We don't need to hear
Nichols.
your impression. Oh, there you go.
Nickel.
One of the funniest moments is us watching that episode and you just suddenly cracking up as soon as
Was not expecting it at all.
I just can't wait for Tyler and Leslie to catch up because it's so funny.
I was gonna watch my TV.
So
when we
maybe
get into that episode.
someday, who knows?
But no, honestly, like if you watch Villainous season 1, watch season 2. I've already recommended it to Aiden because it's not quite as good as Misfit, but it's still really funny. I've enjoyed Villainous the whole time. It's one of the shows I would probably consider buying a Villainous Blu-ray if there was an actually reasonable Blu-ray of this show. But this is
Only.
anime. None of that shit happens. But yeah, Villainous, very funny, very, very funny. Would recommend. Another show that surprised me with how good it was, considering how much of a meme it was in our group because of Val. Case Study of Vanitas, a.k.a. Gay Vampires.
AKA bisexual vampire and heterosexual human.
Yes, exactly.
Val described it as I wish they were gay vampires.
Yeah, AKA Val wishes they were actual gay vampires.
No, but honestly, as much as we meme about it, the show is literally built for Val. It's like not medieval, but you know what I mean, like early industrial revolution, Victorian Paris, French vampires.
Yeah, literally
Like,
Victorian Paris vampires. You
like,
hit all
you
three
couldn't-
of the
you
Valerie.
couldn't actually tick check boxes bigger for her in terms of what she'd want to watch.
Like, and also like potentially maybe gay. Like
Definitely some gay energy at points.
gay, fucking big gay energy. Like, dude, you can't hit me with the Vanitas is super hetero with the opening and that
Yes,
super
yes.
gay ending.
They're
Like, you
both
can't.
so over the top in the intro and outro. You're like, there's got to be something going on.
They're like, what is this? You can't just hit me with this.
I've often said to Val when we watch it, the intro is like a really fun, upbeat song, but the outro song is actually the most on-theme song in for a show in a long fucking time.
Oh, yeah, like the show is a lot more somber in parts than like there are parts that are funny,
Mm-hmm.
but like there are I feel like there's a lot more than not like really somber parts.
Tyler, you just watched the last episode. It starts out with like that creepy shit with the Count.
Yeah.
And then it ends with Vanitas offering him the lick of blood off of like or dried blood and the shot of Noe with his eyes sparkling again. Like it's so tonally all over the place. But it actually works.
I can't take the Count guy seriously, the dude with the red hair or whatever.
Oh.
Because I was telling Val this, I don't know if you heard it, but I was like, yo, I keep thinking Aiden might remember this, and I'm probably blowing up his spot by saying this. But what's the main redhead chick's dad, Aiden from High School DxD. Like this dude looks like him like a lot.
That's
like
not
a lot. And it's fucking me up. I'm like, this is no. But yeah, no, I like this show though. It's pretty cool. I like the show. I am looking forward to the next season.
Yeah, and now that second core, but yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Well,
for
yeah, you know what
core
I
two.
mean.
No, I know it's and the only reason I say that is because I saw so many comments on our anime of people being like, "Why the fuck does everyone call it season 2? It's core 2. These split cores exist. This is the same production cycle."
It's season 2 for me because fuck that shit. Because fucking Breaking Bad did that shit and I didn't like it.
Worse is when they literally refer to it as like, oh, season 2, second half. It's
yes.
Like, oh my god.
Isn't that what 86 has been doing?
86 is doing it. Slime did it.
I didn't put it in the
show.
I didn't put it in the news, but 86 had their official trailer for the next half today. I watched it just because I'm like, yeah, I got to remind myself that I'm pretty hyped for this, but also what the fuck is going to happen with what happened at the end of that season?
Oh, yeah. No, I avoided the trailer. I'm like, I want to be surprised with where they go.
It showed almost nothing, but definitely don't watch it still. I'm sure it spoiled something for me that I don't even know.
Hold on, real quick to loop back to Vanitas.
Sure.
I finished watching the show that I watched when I'm like sitting at the office without other people for lunch. And I need to know, should I actually watch Vanitas during that?
So here's the thing.
I don't know if it's actually good or if it's just Val like saying, I love this show, everyone else should watch it.
So that's what I was getting towards. I gave this an 8 out of 10 just like Villainous. I was shocked at how good the anime... Because this also is one of the shows that, Freeman, you probably saw, or you might not have because you weren't reading. This is one of those shows where they had a couple episodes where they had the 19 animation director. They had an episode that was 19 animation directors. Which, as you well know,
go really bad.
It's exactly. It wasn't incredible, I don't think, but it also wasn't terrible. And in fact, there are a lot of really cool effects, like the book. Tyler, every time the book is used, it looks awesome.
they get the mileage out of it, but it's good though.
Yes, but like there's so many shots of like fields of like flowers and shit, very vampire gothic looking, but it works. It really looks good. The sound design is really good. The music is on theme all over the place. Like the voice acting is really solid, and the story's intriguing. Like as much as it's like a big meme to be like vampires in Paris, it it comes together, and there is silly stuff. Like there's the whole thing with Vanitas and Jean. Like it's so goofy, Tyler. They play it for laughs all the time, but it also ends up being this serious thing.
Yeah.
Like in episode 3 when he like creeps up real hard.
Yes.
Jesus.
No, I think it's good though. I think I like all the characters. I think the characters, like, they all are very unique and they all stand on their own.
Yeah, absolutely. I was surprised. Like I said, I put it on as a meme because I was like, "Oh, Val, you'll love this," and I ended up liking it a lot. I don't think anyone loves it nearly as much as Val, who earlier was showing off her fucking Noe costume she got for Halloween.
Yeah.
But
well, see, I'm pissed though because we were looking through lists of the anime that were coming out, and I even said, "Hey Val, I'm willing to look at this. It looks pretty good. It's got vampires," and she's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "Really? You don't know? It's got
Tyler?
vampires?" And she's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Fine, we'll watch something else."
Tyler, here's the thing about my wife. You sometimes need to just force her to sit and watch something. This isn't in the show notes, but that Pirate Princess show, we were watching like Mother's Basement's video for him where he did that redux on the 3 shows that he hadn't talked about because they were late starters for the season. Yeah. And he was like, "Yo, Pirate Princess is great." And I was like, "Val, you want to try this?" She's like, "I guess." So I just put it on like last week after we watched other shit. And I was like, "Okay, we didn't watch any more yet, but we're going to watch more of this, especially if this season turns out to have nothing we care about." But at the end of the day, yeah, Vanitas was shockingly solid good. And is worth watching. And I think the next core is going to be really interesting. There's a lot of interesting ideas. This isn't just your classic vampires hate humans story. Like there is the undertones of that, but there's more going on than just secret society, some are bad, some are good. Like also Charlatan, one of the creepiest designs I've seen in anime. And I don't go out of my way to watch horror anime like Junji Ito. I haven't watched any of that. But Charlatan legitimately creeps me out every fucking time it's on screen. And Tyler will definitely agree with me because we talked about this yesterday.
It's just so fucking goofy, but it's so like
it's creepy goofy
at the same time.
It works
like,
so well. I hate it.
I didn't know you could do that.
Also, the way it just appears, like in that last shot, the post credits of the finale, where it's just like, "Hey, there's a character," and then it literally just hard jump cuts, and bam, it's just there. Adds to it a lot too. It never moves; it just teleports. Ugh, it's so fucking creepy. But yeah, that's. Oh, and shit, I'll just sneak it in now so I don't jump back into the conversation later.
It's okay. We can always jump around.
I'd rather just finish it out right now so I don't have to hold us on anime too much longer. Slime. Reincarnated as a Slime. Season 2, Part 2, Take 5.
Click.
Finally done.
It was a roller coaster.
I thought I was going to give this a higher score, and nothing directly to do with the finale. I thought back and I'm like, this is a solid 7 show. There's cool shit like Veldora doing Kamehas in the climax episode, which was fucking hilarious. Freeman, you messaged me when he started doing Street Fighter moves.
I messaged you with the Hadouken specifically because he's the kind of player who would just spam Hadoukens, and he had a smile on his face the whole fucking time. So it's just like, yes, he picked the most annoying like Street Fighter playing style. And I was like, yes, this is what I should do. The strongest dragon in all the land.
No, that was really fun. But like then I think back and I'm like, oh my god, that meeting at the beginning of the season, while cool.
You mean the meeting that was the first half of the season?
Yes, and then we had like the 2 episodes where they did with the Beastmen shit, and then Walpurgis just took Oh my god, it felt like it took forever to get here. And I'm going to watch the movie. I still like Slime, but Slime I don't think Slime I'll say this. This was better than when Slime was at its worst when season 1 ended. When we had that whatever the fucking shark that they resurrected again. You remember the name, Freeman, the sky shark thing. Freeman?
Drawing a blank.
You know what it is though. The thing that Benimaru killed in one shot. And everyone's like, "Whoa, that's crazy." Yeah. At the end of season 1, that whole time was like the lowest Slime has gotten. Season 2 didn't dip back below what season 1 was at when it was at its worst, but it's also still not reached this stunning high. But this show is so insanely popular, and Slime is so huge in Japan. There's no way we're not going to get more after this movie next year. I think I saw comments on our anime that are like, "Yeah, we've adapted 6 volumes, and there's 18, and it's like the highest selling thing other than Demon Slayer." Like
Yeah,
we're gonna fucking
gonna
get
more
more.
adaptations. It may not get all the way there because no light novel or no most light novel series like these don't get adapted all the way.
But Overlord's getting season 4 next year, so there's always a dream.
We're waiting to hear about that Konosuba announcement.
Oh yeah, that too. But yeah, Slime was good. If you're sticking with Slime, it's not bad. I'll go see the movie. Absolutely, I'd go see it in theaters. That'd be fun. But it's also just not insanely good.
I'm just imagining Slime with better animation and like an extended Great Sage Raphael sequence.
I think Slime's had pretty solid animation.
No, but like I'm imagining what would it look like with movie budget? Because usually they try and go a little extra on
I
those.
get what you're saying. What it's going to look like when it's extra. Veldora is
Yeah.
going to go even more Super Saiyan than he did in that fucking
Oh
episode.
God.
He literally, like, Freeman, this isn't a spoiler, in the finale, just for fun at one moment, he just does the yellow glow up. And it's like, why did he even do that? Just to look like a Super Saiyan for a minute?
Dude's a weeb. It's amazing.
But yes, okay, I'm done. That's anime for the season. There will be many more in 2 weeks because many shows, Dragon Maid and what's the other one? Dragon Maid, Realist Hero, My Hero, all 3 of
Sorry,
those
My Hero's ending.
are finishing for next time. So we'll have more to talk about at the end of this season, and maybe even talk about where we're starting from this season. But yeah, that's my anime summer season. This is summer season, right?
Yeah, end of summer season.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so I guess it's my turn. So this one wasn't part of the summer season. I think this actually came out in spring in the U.S. and forever ago in Japan. But I finally got to watch the last Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel movie titled, and I fucking love reading Fate movie titles because it's like multiple colons in these titles. Fate / Stay Night : movie : Heaven's Feel 3 : spring song. In
Oh,
case you're
Lord.
confused. Anyway, all I can say for this movie is it definitely feels like they tried to compress a large chunk of a visual novel into a single movie. A lot of the plot points are just straight up skipped over, not explained, which comes with the territory of trying to do these movies. But all the big scenes they were trying to hit from the visual novel, like all the big fights, they were incredibly well animated. Like I was always joking around like, what would look better, Mugen Train or this movie? And I think it's this movie.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
some of the fight scenes at the very end were just absolutely insane. That said, it was more of like it had like the fights were really well animated. The rest of the movie was just when people are standing around talking, like there's not that much to animate. Whereas like I feel like Mugen Train definitely had more action throughout the whole thing, but Face Night's peaks were pretty high. Anyway, overall pretty good. I don't know how I feel about recommending this out to people instead of the visual novel. I'm actually still going to sit down and read it at some point because
Whoa.
I don't think this explained enough. Plus, I still don't have a proper adaptation of the Fate route. So literally, the first one you play, I've always wanted to play that, but that's kind of a time sink. Too much reading. I'd rather just read subtitles and more anime, like the next one, a show I actually finished today, Tokyo Revengers. So season 1 concluded. It's not Shonen Jump. I think it's like monthly something or whatever the magazine that runs Attack on Titan, I think owns this one. But point is, this show, while the animation wasn't that stellar, the plot of the show definitely carried it. And apparently the manga sales are doing very well as a result of the show. So it sounds like we'll get a season 2, which I'm hoping for. because season 1 ended on the biggest fucking cliffhanger I've ever seen in my life. Like multiple character deaths in the last 30 seconds of the episode.
Whoa.
Excuse me? Okay, well, there's another episode next week, right? Because the show loves its cliffhangers. And only to be like, oh, no, that was the last episode. I'm like, okay, well, where's the season 2 announcement?
Damn.
Nothing.
Wow.
So we're like, okay, like, what are they waiting to see if it sells well? Because I gotta know.
So Freeman,
it's-
should I watch Tokyo Revengers or wait until season 2?
I mean, I thought it was still a pretty good watch. Tyler, you won't like this. The plot is basically Butterfly Effect, but with more structure to it. Kid can go back in time, change the past, and try to alter the future to a certain degree.
I think because we like briefly talked about it, so
I talked about it when I just started it, so we've already brought up at least once in the podcast.
Yeah, so I think I had already determined. I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. So I'm already gonna skip it.
But listeners, if you do tolerate time travel stories, then yes, Tokyo Revengers is pretty good.
Now, if you're like just Tyler, probably not.
Yeah, no. Avoid. But that's it for stuff I finished this season. I'm still behind on a lot of stuff, but I'll throw it on when I finish.
I'm sure you'll also finish some of the stuff that I've talked about.
Yeah.
Like, you're not done with Slime or Villainous. You have like 1 or 2 left of each. Right?
No, I finished Villainous. I just need to watch Slime.
Oh.
Anyway, let's talk about some Bungie titles here.
Oh,
Bungie
wait.
title.
So,
Oh yeah, fuck.
a few days ago,
Aiden had the brightest idea.
we-
Hey
we
Tyler,
were sitting in Discord, and
I'll play
and
Destiny 2.
7 terrible words popped into my head, and I asked Tyler, "Do you want to play Destiny 2?"
Jesus.
And
I was like, sure, I guess.
it's been a few days now, and I'm almost power capped, and it's still Destiny 2, that's for sure.
But
They were. I enjoy the game, but like, the new expansion removed 4 planets from the game. Like, they literally cut out half of the content.
Oh, wow.
And on top of that, their monetization, I think, has actually gotten worse.
Damn.
Because now they have season passes that are required to do content in the new expansion. Like, it's just... but I still like Destiny 2, and I don't know why.
I don't know. I mean, it's a fun game just to screw around in, right? I mean, like it's still fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it does have like that quality Bungie FPS like trait to it, I guess.
Yeah, it just
Like all of everything in the game feels good to play. But I hate myself for wanting to play it.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, a part of me kind of wants to go back to Halo.
Yo.
But not like I've been playing it as much anyway, but like
yeah,
I've been
I'm
trying
always
to
down
come
for
back home to
Halo.
play it.
I'm always down for Halo. But like there's something about Destiny 2 that just it just pokes me. It keeps poking me.
You like the gameplay, but it's stuff about the game that makes you turned off.
Yeah, today, all those years ago, we thought it was Activision. It wasn't Activision. It was Bungie. Bungie are the assholes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I like as much as I was ragging on Space Wizards earlier, like I like Space Wizards. Like, I mean, you guys know that I like the fusion of like science fiction and fantasy. So like Destiny, like the whole concept of Destiny and all the shit around is like super cool. It's just how they're handling the continuation, right, of how they want to continuing to support the game. That just kind of bothers me. Like I know there's not like a lot of other things that they could have possibly done, but like it just doesn't feel good to me.
Yeah. But anyways,
But anyway,
the other game that I picked up recently is called Timberborn, where you create a mighty beaver empire in a post-apocalyptic world.
What?
I'm sorry. You want to run that back one more time?
You play as beavers, and the world has gone through some kind of catastrophe, and it is your responsibility to grow your small den of beavers into a mighty beaver empire.
I don't understand how.
How did you find
how
this game?
Unclear.
It's like front page on Steam, man.
What?
Possible.
Bacana.
As we all
Timberborn.
fire up Steam.
Yeah, you can look. Call me a liar.
Call me.
Okay, it might not be front page anymore.
Damn, look at
It
this
was
liar.
though. It was though. Hold on, it's got to be in here somewhere.
Why the fuck you lying?
Yep.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, I saw it on Steam. It's out. It's fun. I don't know if who's into like the supply chain city builders like Anno.
Ones where logistics matter.
Yeah, like it's a lot of logistical stuff, and like you have this whole mechanic where there is a dry season where if you don't have like water saved up or you don't have anything irrigated, you're just gonna fucking all of your shit's gonna die. Like it is a very punishing game. Kind of like Banished. I don't know if you've heard of Banished. That was another like medieval city builder thing that was around a few years ago. That's probably more than a few years ago now. It's like 6 or 7 years ago. And that was like it touted itself as being a difficult game because like you're a medieval village. Like people get sick and die all the time. There's fires, there's bad storms, there's cold winters. And this is kind of in the same vein as that, except you're beavers. And it's fun.
Except your beavers.
So yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. My beaver empire is well on its way.
Would you say is it thriving?
Well, no, I only have 4 left, but we'll get there. We're getting back there. It's fine.
We're coming back. We're making a comeback.
Moving on. This ain't me. I don't know who watched The Great Escape.
It is in fact from last Tuesday when you missed out for Boys Night Movie Night on alternating podcast nights. I convinced Freeman and Tyler to watch El Clasico World War II movie, The Great Escape. And it was pretty great. I haven't watched it in a long time, but it's one of those movies that's always stuck in my head, mostly because Steve McQueen does cool motorcycle jump, and it's tense as fuck when they do those underground shots.
Yeah,
the tunnel shots were really cool.
What do you guys think? For me, it's just one of those old classics that's really good. It's got this ensemble cast that you care about. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, it was really good. I was not expecting it to be this entertaining.
I also thought it was good. I did not realize that it was going to be this depresso, which was a pleasant surprise
true story
for me. Well, yeah, I didn't know the story, so I'd had zero clue. But I thought it was really good. I thought all the actors, like whoever they were, big and small, like I feel like they all acted like their fucking asses off, actually. Especially given like the time, like and everything was good. It was really good. A lot of the scenes were shot very well. A lot of the you could tell there were like a lot of practiced motions. And obviously Steve McQueen doing Steve McQueen things is pretty awesome also.
I can't take that. Oh, if the commandant sees me
good.
off to the front,
Dude.
And now you guys finally know Kula 20 days.
Cooler 20 days. Well, like, so it's like small stuff too, right? Like, I'm sure like that stuff kind of happened, like everything, or at least as much of could report, right? But at least in the movie, it's like, how does Steve McQueen keep his mind when Scottish dude couldn't, right? And like, at like that scene where he runs to the fence, and it's like Steve McQueen's character had as much time, probably more time
In the Kula.
than the Scott did in the
Yeah.
cooler. But it's like, oh, like he had not number one, he has this like, certain persona to himself, right? He's like, yo, I'm just like, yo, whatever, like I get fucking thrown in the cooler, whatever. I'm fucking back out there. Also, he has the baseball. The baseball, like, I think helps keeps him sane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the whole thing at the end when he's just throwing it against the wall immediately. And the guy's
Yeah,
like,
and that's like one of
shit,
the
he's back
things.
at it.
Yeah, that's like one of the things that kind of like solidified it to me,
Mhm.
as far as like the character. I guess I'm gonna go as far as say how like the actual character writing goes in that movie.
Mhm.
And I didn't think like what I can appreciate about these older movies is that like while still being like pretty good, like even back then, I don't know if they were concentrating on it as much or at all, or if they just didn't mean to do it like they did by accident, but like the way they get their character writing is pretty good. You know what I mean? Like it's all pretty spot. Like they have these like little minute like changes, and like each person has like their own kind of like ticks
The whole
they
thing
pick
with
up on
Danny.
that they do. Yeah, like that stuff's pretty good. And like you see him slowly deteriorate
Yep.
throughout the entire movie until he finally breaks at the end.
Yep.
And like it's stuff like that that like is really good that gets overlooked a lot right now, actually.
Excuse me.
Bless. Well, I think they're starting to make a comeback on that because like there's like a lot of irreverent stuff that like started coming out starting in the 80s and like was pretty consistent in the 2000s.
Mhm.
But like post uh like I'll just make this observation citing this other movie podcast that I listen to, but like post 9/11 stuff is like pretty grounded, and I feel like they're making a more of a move to have these like more grounded characters that just make a little bit more sense, and they change as the movie goes on. That's me.
Well, I'm glad to hear you guys liked it because, like I said, it's one of the classics that It's not even like top classics of all time or anything like that, but it just is done really well. Like I said, the shots of them digging the tunnels, so
Yeah,
well
it's good.
done.
It's good.
A little bit of it is kind of hand wavy. Like, man, you're telling me you built 3 of these fucking tunnels, and you had
Yeah.
enough wood for all that shit? That's kind of ridiculous. Or like,
No one caught the dirt spreading at all.
yeah, it's a little silly, but
Yeah, for a quote new kind of prison,
pretty
they're
dumb.
very lackadaisical
Yeah.
when it came to like, oh hey,
Or like when he steals Werner's wallet, and then he
Oh,
gives it
yeah.
back, and he's like, Werner, I'll give you back your wallet for a crazy nice camera. And it's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Hey, that prisoner stole my wallet. Kill him and then get my wallet back.
I'm actually surprised more that didn't happen.
I mean, in exchange, you get shit like the Independence Day, so.
Right. So like, I don't know. That's like actual like real shit. Like I understand like where they were coming from and why they were like like, oh, we got to give these guys on the opposite team like we have to respect them. Also, it doesn't look good on us if we just kill them.
Well.
Well, yeah, in this movie it goes a little bit differently, but like I understand, but like at the same time it's like, yo, these motherfuckers keep running. Like, yeah, I understand. Fucking shoot them. Like,
The
it's like
Gestapo
it is what it
will
is at
not
that
be as
point.
nice.
Oh, but for real though, it's like how many times in war am I like, are we gonna let you run away? Like you get that you waste our time doing this. Like, you know, we get that you waste our time, like you know, enough's enough. We're just gonna ace you, right? Like that. It's like that made sense, and that's funny because like well, it's not funny. It's fucked up because it actually happened. But like, I'm thinking the whole time, like, it was a question I even like played off myself because my friend and I, we watched a few classic movies too, like Bridge Over the River Kwai, where it's the same kind of thing, except like those guys developed more of a Stockholm syndrome than anything,
Mm-hmm.
or at least Obi-Wan Kenobi did, right? And it's like I'm thinking like, yo, why don't they just fucking kill him? Like if they're causing really that much trouble, why don't they just kill him at that point?
Because the Luftwaffe versus the
Yeah, because they
SS.
want to show respect. They want to show
Yep.
respect to the other side. Completely get it. But yo, fuck it. You're gonna keep escape. I might as well just fucking ace you.
That'd be a war
Or
crime.
the quote war crimes. That's hilarious. Now we gotta find out another movie or something like that to watch.
Yes, sir. Can't be my pick though. It's not my turn.
I mean, I gave a suggestion, but
What was it again?
Akira, whatever.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we can do that one next. Let me check. It might be on Funimation.
Which, by the way, this episode that Val and I watched this week of Kaguya-sama had a straight rip from Akira.
Oh, it was the bike slide.
No, not the bike slide. Actually, it was the actual throne from Akira. That
Wait, oh,
famous
really?
scene. Yeah.
Also, it is on Funimation, so we can watch this pretty easily.
Woo.
Okay. Yeah. So like, there's a scene where Shirogane is like he's like sitting on a tall white throne. Like the back is super tall and it's crumbling at the top and it's like marble white. And it's one of those like it's like one of those like cheesy like where they put the character like with the backdrop of like their grades or like some other bullshit in the back and like he's like flaunting his grades again, you know? So it's like I'm like, yo, that's the actual throne. And you guys will see when we actually watch it, like what I'm talking about.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah. I honestly don't know how you guys will feel about it. Some people have had mixed feelings about it. I know I've shown this to some people and they really loved it, and some people were like, "What the fuck did you just show me? I don't think this was that good." And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, I've seen half of it, and I'm cautious of where it was going when I had to stop it.
It is
But I'm excited
weird.
to watch it again. If
It's
you can survive
weird.
End of Evangelion, you can survive this movie.
Bro, this is a lot like this movie makes a lot more sense than that. So
Yeah.
like like it's kind of hard. It's a little hard to follow at the end 'cause it's like what, but like it's it's definitely you can at least follow it. Whereas opposed to End of Evangelion, you're just like, what is happening here? Like what is happening
Like, what is
in
the
my reading
institute?
life? What is the Institute? I briefly touched on it last time we talked, but since then I had finished it.
Oh, nice.
Or wait, did I talk? Wait, did I talk about this last time?
I don't remember.
Now I'm actually kind of like, wait.
Remember
Now
the
I gotta
last
go
episode I
back.
was here for? You brought up at least one book you were reading. I don't know if it was the
Right.
same one.
No, wait. No, because I talked about. I've been reading a lot actually, surprisingly, because I've been like finding downtime. Oh yeah, no, I talked about Mercy Thompson last time. Moon Called. Okay, yeah, so I can talk about this. I briefly talked about it. It's a Stephen King novel about psychic kids. Go figure. In Maine, go figure. Um, and weird shit happens. Basically, this kid gets kidnapped and put in a secret government institute where they monitor uh, the psychic potential of these kids, and they hold them and do stuff to them for an unknown reason. Book was really good. If you like Stephen King novels, I recommend it. Like, really good. I don't know. I can't really
Nice.
say too much about it because,
You don't want to spoil
I
it.
know niggas
Yeah.
don't. That's the premise. I mean, I could talk about it if you guys aren't gonna read it, right? I don't know. You guys
Yeah.
are probably not gonna read it.
You know how I am with reading, Tyler.
That's true. That's true. Like I said, the only reason why I've been doing this because like I like when I get downtime or like I could sneak in some pages here and there at work, like I'll do it. But that's like the only reason. But
Gotcha.
it's like this kid, he ends up it starts off with this guy. He's like, I decided to on a whim, uh, get off this airplane because they needed to give my seat to someone else, and he hitchhikes to a small town where he becomes a night knocker, which is basically a security guard for the entire town. I don't know. It's a Stephen King thing, I guess. And then
Hmm.
they cut to this kid who is a legitimate genius at the age of 13 or 12. At 12, he wants to. He is trying to apply to MIT and somewhere else. There's somewhere else he wanted to like. It was another Ivy League school. But the secret government institute come, they kill his parents and they kidnap him. They take him to this place, and they literally tortured the shit out of him, uh, to basically kickstart his psychic abilities. It's pretty gnarly. Like they do a bunch of crazy shit to him.
Wow.
Like they like subject him to like all this psychological torture because like later on you find out like one of the doctors who is there, he's like, yo, I know these kids are not strong, but if you push them enough, like they can unlock some pretty gnarly shit. And they're like, whatever, like, and you find out later on that even though these kids are not that strong, if they like put their minds together, like if they are able to corral them into one spot and have them all focus on a thing, they
Mhm.
can perform a task and they can do tasks such as kill a person from across the world.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it all comes to a head when you find out that they have these precogs that are supposed precogs, like from Minority Report, and they pick targets and they send them to these institutes throughout the entire world, and these kids get together and they kill these designated people from across the world using their psychic abilities. But then if the when the child like when their brains fry, that's it. Once the kid is like done and like they're basically a vegetable, then they just get killed like a cow and they and tossed in an incinerator.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
pretty fucking crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the Institute. It's pretty good.
Certainly sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's super interesting. And that's like only maybe three-quarters of it. Like that's not like how like it actually ends. Like some of the kids, it pretty much ends up being like the Great Escape, where it's like, oh hey, we're gonna leave with everybody. JK, only four of us escape,
Wow.
Oh wow.
and like half of them, like half the kids end up killing themselves just so a few can escape. Because they finally figured out, oh hey, if we band together, we can fuck this place up because they can't stop us. But the problem is, like, they were in a situation where like they couldn't get out, so they were like, yo, listen, like, we will kill ourselves here and everybody in this place just so you guys can get out. And I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
Dude, Stephen King does not give a fuck. He will kill kids.
He will kill children.
Like,
Yeah.
he will kill children. He doesn't give a shit, dude. And in the most like brutal way possible. Like I remember I think in like and you watched or you read the first Dark Tower.
I don't remember much of it. I wasn't very interested in it.
That's fine. He describes the main kid, Jake, and how he dies. He basically describes that this pimp drove down the road and ran him over, and the way he described Jake being run over was the most like disgusting thing I've ever read. I was like, Jesus. Now, granted, Red Rising has some pretty heinous stuff, but it's like, oh yeah, like basically this kid's guts like got splattered out of him like a tube of toothpaste and he shit himself.
Ugh.
and that's how he died. I'm like, yo, what the
What the
fuck,
fuck?
Sweet.
dude? Yeah, man, pretty visceral. But yeah, no, Institute's good. You should give it a shot. It's at least an 8 out of 10 in my book, or a 7. It does some like pretty predictable stuff, but like it's still pretty good. I went on about it pretty too long, I think, but yeah.
No, you're fine.
You're good.
What am I reading? Oh, I'm finishing up Elantris, which I almost stopped reading. But hopefully by the time we start the next one, I'll have finished that so I could talk about that.
Cool.
Nice.
And I'm hoping I can watch more shows. I started the movie Pig, and I'm trying to finish that. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that I'm trying to watch also. So be on the lookout for that next time.
Wahoo.
Yeah. And that's everybody. That's all I got for today. I'm gonna
Alright.
go home and play Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo
The
3DS.
God damn it. My body is ready.
I said that joke. I said that joke to my coworkers yesterday. I was leaving, like I was like, okay, this is what happened today, blah blah blah. You know, everything's a bypass, and they're just looking at me. I'm like, okay, well that's all the time I had for today. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, never mind, just forget it.
Amazing.
You guys don't understand quality.
For real.
You don't get humor.
Speaking of
All right,
quality, though,
That's all we got.
that's all we got for quality. So,
Yeah, right.
If you want to call it that.
yeah, well.
If you want to call it that, according to Freeman's brother, not.
Our most critical reviewer.
Most critical reviewer. Oh man.
But either way,
Nah. I respect all constructive criticisms. I really do. I appreciate it.
I wonder if he's
Listeners,
gonna.
that's your cue. You have constructive feedback, leave it in the comments. While you're there, why don't you smack like, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon. You already know what it does.
Wow.
Do
If you
you?
hate- if-
Does
if we
anybody know what the bell
advertise-
does actually?
I
don't know what the bell
I'm not gonna explain those to you.
Notifications, right? Like
Yeah.
that's- yeah.
Into the
that's what
void?
you-
Because I don't get them.
Yeah, well. Do
Yeah,
you
I'm
ding the
blaming
bell?
you, YouTube.
Do you ding the
Fuck you,
bell?
you.
Ding the
YouTube.
bell?
I ding all the bells.
Do you really?
Oh,
It
that's-
doesn't sound like it.
All the bells is the same as no bells.
Fair enough.
Ever since
You got me.
Dark Souls, fuck bells, bro. I even
Oh
played
my
that game
God.
with fuck bells.
All right, what's up?
Thanks for
Fuck
watching,
Animal Crossing, I hate
everybody.
bells.
We'll be back in 2 weeks, maybe, possibly.
Maybe. Who knows?
We'll see where the world goes in 2
Let's
weeks.
see if there's interesting stuff to talk about.
The
But
universe tends
until-
to unfold as it should.
True. But we'll be back in 2 weeks-ish with more wonderful news, I'm sure. Thank you all so much for listening. My name's Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Just Tyler.
Dr. AIDS.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you next time.